lessons we can learn from Jesse, right? Shout out to Jesse. Jesse is bae. Yesterday was Jesse. Apparently, Jesse now has his own holiday, Jesse Appreciation Day. Um, sisters have already been feeling Jesse. I mean, come on now. He's really nice to look at, for one. He's also a pretty awesome actor, and he's a badass activist. You know, Jesse's speech, if you have not heard it, if you've not read it, it's everywhere. Look it up. If you can't find it on YouTube, that's because the evil empire wants you to go through their paid sites and links. It is available. You just got to go through like Billboard or BET or some other site like that to see the video. They've been pulling it down off of YouTube since people started first putting it up. But Jesse gave this awesome speech. It's about approximately 5 minutes. He received a humanitarian award for his work. There's a really great spread in Essence not long ago. I think it was Essence magazine. It's either Essence or Ebony. I really think it was Essence, but there's a really great spread with it was Harry Belafonte, another fabulous activist actor, passing the baton to Jesse Williams, who was passing it, and then he had Zendaya, getting past it as well, like, the passing of the torch type of thing. And that was pretty cool. And Jesse's been going strong for quite some time. I think I read that he was a teacher before, his acting life. He gave really impassioned speech about Blackness, about respecting Black life, about getting off our butts and getting engaged in the work to be done in our communities. Because off the bat, he acknowledged the fact that he's a celebrity activist, right? He said, but the real people who do the real work are the parents or the teachers or the people out there in the communities. Like that was one of the first things he did, was acknowledge, his parents for raising him to be the person he is, for his wife supporting him. But he also acknowledged the community that actually does the work. The community doesn't get the special, awards. The community does not get you got tons of organizations. You got BYP 100, Asada's Daughters. You have so many different organizations out there. They're not those people that are working day to day, actually on the ground. They're not the ones that get these accolades on national TV and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not getting, TV shows or they're not landing on as a talking head or any of these shows. People who do celebrity activism or whatever, people who have made a name for themselves doing this work, that is who gets more of the attention. And so it was great for Jesse to acknowledge all the hard work that's going on, all the organizing and engaging that people are actually doing out there. That's one thing. The other thing was for Jesse, when he said what he said on stage, but apparently he continued on, right? When he was so hyped from that moment, because people talk about how, it might have been scripted or this. I got to find the exact wording. But Jesse got off stage and he was still so hyped that he had more to say. And there's a Jet magazine piece that talks about the kind of capture what Jesse had to say once he got on stage. And Jesse was just like, he was still going. Like he was still going. He was still very much, in the moment. He was still very much, he was talking about how people are struggling, right? People are poor, people are struggling. And just because, we get in ours, and just because we got all this and we here, that does not mean, you know what I'm saying, that it's all good. He issued a challenge basically everyone. People are really stuck on the cultural appropriation part. And, I'm not going to get into the whole Justin Timberlake thing, because I feel like Justin Timberlake and that whole nonsense got way too much attention. We need to be talking about what Jesse was talking about and what we all could be doing in our own work, right? So just the call to action, the challenge, he challenged everybody across the board. You can't be, just because you got yours, because, a lot of people got that, well, I got mine, well, it's not that big of a deal, whatever, them people over there, they need to work harder. You can't disregard the structural inequities. You can't disregard the problems in the system that persist and continue to allow certain conditions to occur. And does not mean that people don't take personal responsibility for their own individual lives and agency. What that does is acknowledge that there are systems and there are situations and conditions that exist, that limit certain abilities, and that people have to work even harder just to get half as much as the next person. So, like, Jesse is bae.